The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live from the radio studios of WFAY and WMRV, Androlonis Media presents Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio.
Well, welcome back to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm your host, Peter Pappas, and we are proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in this region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. This afternoon, I welcome my co-host, Mrs. Laura Mussler.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon. And Karen Saracen, running for Hope Mills Commissioner, 1 of 10. Right?
1 of 10,
One
yes.
of 10.
Only 5 seats, though.
Only 5 seats,
5
10
available.
people running. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive right in here. We do appreciate you tuning in. And, of course, if you want to find out anything about Carolina Cabinet, or if you would like to try to sign up as a guest, which I was told was very hard to figure out, looking at you now, go to thecarolinacabinet.com, and there is a Register as a Guest tab right there. So with that, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you. Karen, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me or
volunteering you. Well, so I think Grilly Mitchell, we can
Yes.
thank him for making the connection.
Mhm.
He was on last Monday, and we haven't even released his show yet because I don't edit these things, but I at least try to make sure the audio is right before I put them on Spotify. But he was here Monday, and we had a nice episode with him. And then I get a text from him like, "Hey, you need to talk to this person." So.
And actually, I was sitting next to him on Monday at the meeting in Hope Mills, the commissioners' meeting.
The now infamous meeting. That
Yes.
they
What happened at this
may or
meeting?
may not have followed. So we're going to come back to that. So you were sitting next to him Monday.
Right, but you wanted me to introduce myself first, right?
Go ahead. Yes, please.
So my name is Karen Saracen. I am a 20-plus year resident of Hope Mills. I am a full-time registered nurse for the Fayetteville VA.
Mhm.
I am a case manager for approximately 70 veterans with chronic illnesses. So I love my job. I love my veterans, and I take very good care of my veterans.
Do you hear a beep?
Yes,
It's from outside, I think.
Oh,
it's a truck
so-
back.
I was backing up.
I was
That
afraid.
happens every time I
I
back
was
up.
afraid it was an open mic somewhere. I'm like, what is that? Okay.
No, every time I back up, I hear that noise. I don't
So-
understand.
Okay, so you're a case manager for like 70?
It seems like two humps.
I bet it does.
Well, it's
So what does case management require? I mean, what does your day-to-day look like?
well. I have first off, they're veterans. Which,
Okay.
And most of my veterans have all of them have chronic diseases. They have hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, congestive heart failure, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, diabetes. And what it is we provide them with the equipment at home to take their vital signs, to take their weight, take their blood sugar, and send it into the VA.
Mhm.
I look at it and look at it to see, are we seeing trends in a blood pressure elevation? We're seeing trends in blood sugars
Okay.
peaking at the wrong times. And I'll call the veteran and say, Mr. Peter, I noticed that your blood pressure has been high for the last 4 days. Are you out of your medication? Are you having any other symptoms? Are you having swelling? Are you having problems sleeping? What seems to be the problem? Let's try to figure this out. And if he says, "Oh, I ran out of my medications," or "I'm having a hard time," my dog died, okay, I understand why. But if I can't understand why, what I do is I push it forward to the doctor. And then the doctor or the pharmacist will call back and say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to increase your medication. If it's we can't figure out also, then we can also say, okay, come on in. Or we were seeing a trend for the last week, and you have congestive heart failure, and you've gained 7 pounds in a week. That's not normal. We need you to go to the emergency room.
Okay.
So what I do is I I monitor them so this way, hopefully, we can avoid rehospitalizations. We can avoid doctor's visits. And more than anything, the VA is a very busy place. The VA is the largest healthcare system in the country, which I don't know if people realize that, but as far as it's a wellness program to try to prevent rehospitalizations, exacerbations, and keep people at home and in control of their own bodies, and for them to manage their diseases, not for their diseases to manage them.
So you're the one that takes a look and treats these people like they're actually humans, and
Yes.
you try to put together all the data points to keep them healthy. So I assume,
Nurse by day, politician by night.
Yes.
yeah, and she sounds like she's kind of a nerd with numbers.
That's
She's got to be.
Yeah.
She has to be with data,
statistics and
statistics and facts, and
informatics
things.
and data, and I'm all about facts. As a nurse, I'm about feelings too. I have to be empathize with my veterans and be compassionate with them, but I also have to be factual. I can't guess and I can't fib or say.
Sure. Yeah.
And even if and there's nothing wrong with just saying I really don't know, but you know what? I'm going to find out for you and I'll get you the answer.
So you've been here for 20 plus years, you said. How does your work experience or life experience translate into you wanting, and we'll get to the reason why, but how does that translate into serving the community of Hope Mills?
Well, I have a service heart.
All right.
I have been in community service, volunteering, as you probably tell by my dialect. I'm not going to call it an accent. My dialect that I'm not.
I just caught it when you said call it. I heard the call it.
I'm not originally from North Carolina or the Fayetteville area. I'm originally from.
Nobody retires up north. They all come
No.
down here. Okay?
It's too cold up
It's
there.
too damn cold up there.
And that's exactly how we went up here. I'm originally from Old Bridge, New Jersey, which is in central Jersey, which only people from central Jersey recognize it. There's people just say North Jersey and South Jersey, but I'm central Jersey, from not far from where Bon Jovi lived.
All
He
right.
lived in Sayreville. I lived in Old Bridge.
Okay.
And
Were you a fan? Were you?
I'm
yeah,
very much
okay,
a huge fan.
Ever be a roadie for him?
Actually, one of my neighbors across the street was a roadie for him and for other. But she went to school here in North Carolina.
Okay. All right.
But and I've met him. I've met him once personally because I was actually taking care of when early in my nursing career I worked at St. Peter's, and Dorothea's father was a patient at St. Peter's, and he would come in at nighttime. He was doing his Slippery When Wet tour, and that was out of Canada. I actually also met Richie Sambora.
Okay.
Because he's also from Central Jersey. He's from Avenel, which is a area in Woodbridge, New Jersey, and I met him at a diner. So but New Jersey's small.
Well, you think we can get him to come play a parade or something?
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. Okay.
So now we'll get to the why. So running for office, it's a big commitment. I mean, you have the bravery to put your name on a ballot. There's lots. Basically, the naysayers exist on Facebook, the Facebook warriors. What part of you was like, okay, this has got to stop, or I need to I want to offer my help because X. What was your turning point?
Well, but I apologize. I get off track frequently. I have no problem speaking and talking, but I have a service heart. I've been volunteering, doing community work since I've been a teenager back in New Jersey. I'm a life member of the Old Bridge Volunteer Emergency Medical Services. So I was an EMT, and I did that for years. Then I moved to North Carolina, and then in Hope Mills, we moved to the beach first, and then we moved to Hope Mills. And even in Hope Mills, as far as volunteering, my children were involved with sports. I was on the Hope Mills Youth Association board
Okay.
volunteering.
Is that a county board or is that just the
It's Hope Mills?
Okay.
It's Hope Mills, and because my sons played football, my sons played baseball, and they were very good athletes. So
Okay.
they were on the all-star team. So I did a lot of also fundraising for Hope Mills Youth Association. So I was in the town volunteering my time there. Then as my children became older, I still volunteered in the town. I do the Alms House with Grilly. That's how I know Grilly.
Okay.
I'm on the HPC, which is a Historical Preservation Commission.
All right.
And we've been working very diligently in recognizing historical buildings, historical.
I saw something about historical landmarks or plaques being placed, whatever. So,
Yep.
So going back, your reason for running. So you certainly have been on Hope Mills boards. You've had your children involved with the sports, the recreation stuff. You served on the board for historical.
I still am.
And then
yes.
you're helping Grilly at you
At
know
the
Grilly
Alms
from the
House.
Alms House.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great pedigree. But what was your why? Like, why? Well, you got a lot of good stuff going on. Why do you want to complicate your life?
And how do you have the time to add more to it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I have, and this is like getting back to the service heart, taking care of my veterans.
Mhm.
I have a master's degree in nursing administration and management, so I'm with administration and management with my veterans, and even working, I have more responsibility besides my veterans at the VA. It's about people. And working with people and servicing people. And that's why I wanted to get on the board,
Okay.
because it's the next progression in
of you
service.
being involved. Okay, so you're completely fine with everything happening in Hope Mills the way it is. You just want to serve.
Oh, no.
So tell me what you saw that I'm trying to pull out from you.
Okay, we have a
go
question
ahead.
in the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
What are the thoughts on the current board not letting the citizens of Hope Mills decide on how they want to be governed? And I'm guessing he's talking about the 2-year and 4-year terms.
Oh, diving right in.
Oh.
Okay.
As far as, did you want to talk about
Go
the
ahead. Let's
4-year
go ahead.
terms?
Yeah, let's answer that.
Well, I did my own research about the 4-year terms too.
Okay.
And because I attend all of the meetings, and I noticed that I went and did the research about the 4 terms, and I understood when the board was coming back, because they were going to I'm trying to remember where they were going.
They took a retreat.
Yes. Yeah. And they came back with information from other municipalities that they were doing 4-year terms. Mm-hmm. And Hope Mills decided to do the 4-year with 2-year staggered.
Sure.
So your first 3 vote winners would get the 4 years, and the 2
so
freshmen.
If they had passed to the 4-year terms, which I believe in their charter, they're allowed to just vote on and change. So that what was going to happen was the next election, the top 3 vote getters would have been the first 4-year people. Is that correct?
This election coming up.
Okay.
Well, this election coming up will be the top 3 get 4 years, and the freshmen, the lower 2 would be the freshmen.
Right.
And how do you feel about that? And what would you have done differently if you were on the board?
I wouldn't do anything differently, because when I researched it, I didn't have an immediate opinion. Mm-hmm. What I did is I researched it and I looked it up, and because they were coming back saying, we want to do this for continuity, and we want to do this because it'll save the town money. Mm-hmm. We want to do this. And so I did my research, and I went to let me see, I'm trying to remember the actual website, the North Carolina School of Government.
Right. League of Municipalities and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I did my research there, mm-hmm. and to only find out over 500 municipalities in North Carolina mm-hmm. already have the 4-year staggered terms.
Right.
And with the fact that Hope Mills is growing as rapidly as it is, you want your infrastructure to be a strong infrastructure mm-hmm. to support the growth. And if you have 2-year terms, your infrastructure is not going to be able to keep up with the growth
so you would have been for the 4-year staggered
after
terms.
I did my
Okay.
research.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that's fair. So look, 18 months ago, I think we spoke about this Monday.
Right.
I went and ran my mouth to City Council of Fayetteville when they wanted to do the 4-year terms.
And I said,
And what were you saying?
and I said 4 years is
Yeah.
a yes.
Well, yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, after having run for office and understanding more about what I don't know, I think that 4 years provides continuity. So take our current election of City Council of Fayetteville. We have 4 seats that are going to be brand new, no incumbent, no nobody. So that's 40% of our representatives that if we get the wrong ones in there, we're going to ruin the next 10 years of development of this town. So continuity matters. Experience does matter. I don't agree with the very next election. It should have been one more, I think, before they started to pull the top 3 vote getters. But if I had my druthers, that's what I would do. That was my only issue with what Hope Mills did.
Well-
And how do you feel about how they did it and not put it on to see? I mean, it could have been that the community actually wanted it, or maybe the community didn't want it. How do you feel about them not bringing it to the voters to see how they feel? And then once you take it to the voters, and if the voters say it's 49-51, you can say, well, here's why we want to do it, and explain it to that 49%. Because as it stands, people are just up in arms because the commission made a decision without the voters' input about their own selves.
But did they, though? Didn't the people elect the people to be their representative?
I was just about to say that. And that,
Sorry,
and
I
that's,
should have let her answer that. I don't know.
Yes.
and-
Peter, and what are you running for?
Yeah, nothing
Okay.
yet. Yeah.
well, and even, and in doing my research, Spring Lake did it. Spring Lake just did it without even, because I know Hope Mills had brought it to the in meetings, brought it in front of people, educated the town.
Mhm.
It was on their website. There was education out there and the rationale. And the Spring Lake, who is our neighbor, who is even smaller than us,
Mhm.
they did it without even. They just,
Well, let's be honest. Nobody shows up in Spring Lake to vote. There's like
I was going to
there's
say,
like 10
yeah, I
people
wouldn't
out
be
there,
using
so I would-
Spring
they're
Lake
not-
as an ideal.
They're,
but
they're not a good analog or peer city for you.
well, and Fayetteville is not far behind.
Well, and in retrospect, I have changed my thinking of the 2 versus 4 years. There's simply, the more I've been around, there's just too much at stake. And I really am concerned with this election in the city of Fayetteville, because finally we have a county commission that's working and been more transparent and trying to work with the city of Fayetteville. But if we get the wrong folks in there, that's all going to stop that
Right.
collaboration that we need. So
Another question?
Okay, well, you called out the town for lack of transparency around zoning.
I did.
Yep, with the something about a zoning withdrawal case, and you the critics called out for openness. Was that not you?
Can I say it?
I don't have the actual thing, but it was on. Let's see.
I think it was City View.
This is the city view right here.
No, not this one. This was years ago. In City View, you publicly challenged the town leadership around a case where a developer withdrew a zoning request just before a hearing, claiming that some officials knew in advance and failed to notify the public.
Oh, the hotel. The hotel on the golf course.
Right. Tell us about that.
The hotel on the golf course, that was 2 years ago, and I actually spoke in at the town because there was a lot of confusion. There was absolutely a lot of confusion, and there were people who did not, including myself, did not want a hotel on the golf course. And we had, I know that we went to the county, and we're there for the zoning, and he withdrew from such negative feedback
Mhm.
from the community.
So ultimately they pulled their permit back. So what was
And
the
they
real,
s- and
what
they
was the
sold the
objection there? Are
property,
we
too.
just anti-development? Because I
No.
thought the property wasn't being used for a golf course.
It wasn't being used for a golf course, but to put a hotel on the golf course,
Mhm.
I felt that putting a hotel in the middle of a development, it was like a family development,
Mhm.
and the golf course, the property that they had, that would turn that area into a more business,
Right.
and the hotel would come, and then with the hotel you would get another strip mall, and this is off of Golfview. So it would not be. I'm for with the golf course building, they want a new parks and rec center. I'm for that. I don't think the money is there right now, but as far as the hotel, no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, see, now Hope Mills is growing, as you've said. How else are you going to grow unless you start bringing people in, whether it's through hotels and strip malls and things like that, to increase the tax base and to have it grow? So if you're against a hotel, are you against apartments also?
No, I'm not.
Would apartments been okay there?
They're putting apartments, or they're putting townhouses there now. Rooftops will increase tax revenue. So that'll help us. Businesses and restaurants, that'll help us. But they have to be zoned correctly. To put it on Golfview, a hotel on Golfview, with nothing else around it, I don't think the hotel would have survived either, because it's not, what is it, 14 miles from 95 to get to that hotel.
Okay.
I think a hotel over by where they put the new Wawa would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not against hotels. I just think the location was not a good site.
Okay.
But
Right.
as far as restaurants
so-
coming in, as far as rooftops of houses coming in, yes, I'm for that. But we have to have them in the right place. Just at the last meeting, they were trying to annex in an area, but there was an issue with water and getting water, and they didn't. And it was voted down because if a house burnt down, they wouldn't have enough water to put the house fire out.
Okay.
So that's responsible zoning.
All right. Okay. Did you have another
Okay.
one?
Yep,
Go ahead.
I sure do. According to City View again, you skipped a local candidate forum. And critics might say that if you can't show up when residents are watching, then how can we trust that you'll show up for them? So
Which one is that?
I'm not sure. They didn't. Again, it was referenced in City View.
Do you imagine the press maybe not have had all their facts together? But, how many forums have you been to, or have
This
you seen?
year?
Yeah. Has there been any for Hope Mills?
I was going to say I haven't heard of.
I haven't either.
I would imagine that there are, since
I know
there's 10
there's one
people
coming.
running.
There's one coming on Saturday.
Okay.
And that is with the Zetas. I think it's with the Zetas.
Okay.
And I just got off a cruise, so I'm not sure if I missed one during the cruise. And I try to get to everything I possibly can. I try to be out there. I'm not sure what.
You weren't the only person that skipped. They say among other candidates.
Well, maybe it's
skipped
because
it.
they didn't have a primary. Maybe they
That
didn't,
could be.
They might not have been invited. But we still want to know: are you going to show up to the meetings?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I went to.
How do you control your own schedule? Do you have a set schedule as far as your nursing goes, so that you would be available to the public?
Yes, I work Monday through Friday.
Okay.
8 to 4:30.
Okay.
And mostly on the weekends at night. I'm at every meeting that I possibly can. I was at the Deltas had something at I think they were the Deltas at the Crown Coliseum, the Expo Center, and we were there.
Okay.
I don't know which other one I missed.
Just pay attention to your email box. You're going to get a lot of invites.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
and check lots of spam, because some of it goes to spam directly. But
yeah, that's
so-
I get a lot of. That's what I was saying. I looked and looked and looked for the email for your invitation, and
it wasn't there.
I don't know. It might have been. It might not have.
As having been a candidate, there's a lot coming at you. So it's no harm. You're here now, and I'm happy to see you. Okay, so you think you can show up to all the meetings? That's great. Let's talk about.
She ran before.
Yep.
She did run for. So we'll talk about that.
This
but
is
what
my
about,
second time.
What is your top 1 or 2, 3 things that you want to see accomplished in Hope Mills now that you're running?
One of the things that I really would like to see is improvement on the transportation,
Meaning what?
meaning a bus system.
Okay.
And even though that I know it's been years, they've been trying, to work with FAMPO and the NCDOT. And especially now with the NCDOT with doing all the construction, it looks ugly in Hope Mills.
Right.
It does.
That'll
I
pass.
can't sugarcoat
this
it. But
too will pass.
but the transportation, even with me just getting to work in the morning, it's a challenge to get to work.
So public transit would be a priority. Would you maybe consider working with Fayetteville area system of transit? Because they used to have one bus route or one bus stop. It was right in front of my restaurant on Rockfish Road, and that was as far as it went. Yes. They tried that for about 2 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but not enough people were riding it, so they canceled it.
Well, I'd like to see transportation with the veterans. That's one of my jobs is that I can get them transportation. So the VA has transportation, but even if you didn't need a specialized van, or you lived in Hope Mills and we had the fast service coming through, it takes you right to the VA.
Okay.
And that would be wonderful. And it would be really nice for students who go to Fayetteville State and Fayetteville Tech to have transportation.
Okay.
Also,
so transportation's a big deal. What are some other ones?
Let me see. Well, and communication is another one.
Okay.
With communication, I know that, and I spoke with the last interview. The website is challenging, and the website does need to be worked on. And but I had with communication that what I do with my veterans as well is we have the communications where I can text them, and we can do that in Hope Mills. We can have the text message service where there is events going on, road closures, inclement weather, some type of emergency power outages, and where they can. It's a free service where you can text.
Okay.
And it's just your one blast, and it's text out. And the thing is especially with our seniors who are homebound, the same thing. It's another program where you can text out to them. This would be through the emergency system, meaning the fire department or the police department would text out to our seniors, as long as they have a smartphone, a text message like a wellness check every day.
Okay.
Because it's amazing how many people you will find on the floor.
So City of Fayetteville had that program. They actually just ended it because of lack of participation.
Really?
Manager Hewitt, he said he found, I think he tried to recover $18 million out of the budget, and this one program was costing like $500,000 to, I think, call seniors, like do a wellness check every day, like proof of life. Are you still there? Move on. And they canceled it for lack of participation. But I like that you brought up communication, because I want to talk about the elephant that got sat in the room on Monday. I'm going to mention, so I've read the City View article or Fayetteville Observer article about how the meeting progressed. So I have heard from some commissioners that said this tonight was just a complete show. How do you feel about how, all right, the allegation is that Commissioner Craven made some kind of remark. So how do you feel about the handling of a sitting Hope Mills commissioner and the order of operation in which they went over to try to censure her? Do you agree with how they handled the situation? Do you think they could have done better, or are you okay with what they did?
I'm going to think before I speak.
That's okay.
There was,
And this is whether the allegation is true or not. There's still a procedure in place for you as a commissioner that should have been followed. Do you feel like they followed their own regulation?
I feel that with going to the meetings that I've been to almost every meeting. I'm there constantly for the meetings because I want to be an educated consumer. I want to be able to be there and listen and not read on very
City viewer
biased.
favored.
Yes.
Oh, well,
And I want to make my own judgments.
okay.
I feel that there's been tension since the very beginning.
Tension among the commissioners or with
Yes,
the town?
with the
Among the
commissioners.
commissioners. Okay.
And I feel that there's commissioners who do their homework. There's commissioners that look on facts and data, and then there's commissioners who go on feelings and have a certain population that they cater to.
All right. So, what would you do different if there was tension on the board? How are you going to help to conciliate that, or do you feel that's a responsibility of yours or the mayor's?
Well, we haven't answered the original question. Did they handle it right, and how?
I don't. I'm not in the situation to really say if they handled it right because there's closed sessions. I don't know what goes on in closed sessions. So, and closed session is where I believe is where you try to work it out. So I don't know what happened in closed session. So I don't know if they.
So did they have the closed session first or at the end of the meeting?
They had a closed session the week before, I thought it was.
Okay. So we have a comment here. Monday night's board meeting was a well-orchestrated theatrical event, a great October surprise. Isn't that a political term? October surprise.
Yes, they always have an October surprise.
So was it political theater on Monday night? Or was it factually and needed to be handled?
Well, there was a lot of people there, that's for sure. That was the most I've ever seen.
So why did they know to show up? That it's the most you've ever seen. How did they know to pack the room? Did somebody tip them off?
That was the most I've ever seen since.
Was there some previous setup in order to get all of those people in the room because there was an allegation that has not been confirmed or substantiated? Was there some kind of backroom deal to get all those people in there to create a October surprise?
Yeah.
I wish I had the answer for you, but I don't. I was not involved with that. I was showing up for my Monday meeting, so I don't. I honestly didn't know who those. I didn't know who those people were.
Okay.
There was a lot of people, and I remember saying,
"You don't recognize a lot of folks that showed up Monday."
I know the Zetas were there.
Okay.
Because they had their blue dresses on and everything.
Right.
And one of our other candidates, Hope, is a Zeta.
Okay.
And we were not sure. I was not sure if they were there to support her. I remember saying, "Are these all Hope Mills voters?" There was a lot of people. I was sitting in the front row with Grilly Mitchell.
Okay.
And I was looking around saying,
Who are all these?
I was not involved with inviting those people, the people who came. There was a lot of people. I think the fire marshal said no more people in the room because, was it orchestrated? It might have been, but it wasn't by me, and I wasn't part of the.
Okay. This is just what you observe. You're not sitting on the commission. So, as a citizen, did you see or hear anything on Facebook or Twitter or whatever saying, let's go get our pitchforks and show up at the meeting on Monday? Didn't say anything like that, or did you? I don't know.
No, if you looked at my Facebook page, it's very generic. There's no negative. There's no, it's pretty much events. It's pretty much, I don't interact with the Facebook pages that have the very negative.
The closed groups you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I don't participate in that. Because a lot of it is not factual. Okay.
So go back to the disagreement on the board. How would you be an element in that to smooth things over? Or like I said, would you just rely on the mayor to kind of rope everybody together?
I do feel the mayor has a large responsibility in maintaining control of the meetings. Because there has been other meetings that and I think the mayor is trying to give people the opportunity to talk, and we have people who are disrespectful or who are
citizens or fellow board members. Citizens.
Okay. So that he needs, or they speak out of turn, or they yell out, and there's been times that there's been people who had to be escorted out by the police because they were cursing at the mayor. And because I really feel that the mayor needs to take a more active role, which he does. He tries to let people have the opportunity to talk.
Okay.
And even going over their 3 minutes, for public comment.
Okay, so are they signing up before the meeting to speak? So that's similar to what we do in Fayetteville. So you give 3 minutes?
They get 3 minutes,
Okay.
but you'll have people who go on and on and on and on and on.
They don't cut the mics off?
No.
They should.
And there's people who, who will yell out.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
you mean from the audience?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's me usually. Sorry. I'm usually the one saying, get them,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've seen meetings maybe go off the rails.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Again, so what would you do differently?
As the commissioner,
Mm-hmm.
well, we need to follow Robert's rules, and we need to follow the correct procedures in meetings.
There's no magic wand here. Okay. So, it's look, you've observed, you've been in the audience, you understand that there's a certain decorum that needs to happen at these meetings, however, take me out of this country if I can't cuss at my mayor, because screw him. It's First Amendment right to say whatever the hell I want to say to him. If he can't handle it, then maybe he don't need to be the mayor. Okay. It doesn't mean you got to disrespect the guy, but you have the capability. So,
I mean, if that's what you want to do for your 3 minutes is stand there and curse, I guess you could.
Well, there's a guy in Virginia that just goes in front of the school board and he moons them for like 3 minutes.
That's nice.
It's protected speech, mooning.
Isn't that indecent exposure?
No, it's protected political speech. Go ahead.
Karen. There's also a man in Clark, New Jersey who break dances for 3 minutes.
Well,
wow.
Look, I hope that we can pull it together in Hope Mills. So besides growth is an ambiguous kind of bear. Are we trying to shoo away businesses like me opening back up? I mean, not in my backyard kind of mentality. How do you want to handle the growth?
No, I would welcome you back. Because what's there now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would welcome you back. We would welcome businesses like yours back. I know I would, most definitely.
Okay, as a listener, I don't know what's there now, and that sounded kind of shady. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, what's there now?
It's a smoke shop.
Smoke shop. They pay good rent. So,
I was going to say they're a business.
Yeah, they're another smoke shop.
Yeah.
And as far as the aesthetics, it looks like a carnival. Mm-hmm. And it's and we were having a lot of them pop up, and we recently, within the last 6 months, they had that huge multi.
You're talking about the raid?
Yes.
Yeah, there was,
and there was a lot of them in Hope Mills that were raided, and they
not
were
my guys. Not my people, but so you realize the carnival look is allowed with the zoning that's there now. So would you want to try to get in and maybe write some other ordinances to ratchet down on aesthetics?
They did change the ordinances as far as the smoke shops that if that leaves, another smoke shop can't go in.
Yeah, the people that passed that are the ones that they're attorneys for one of the other smoke shops.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It wasn't for the safety of the people. Don't buy that narrative. So, Laura.
Well, I had a question from Pam Carter, who's a regular viewer, and she wanted to know, back to the buses, how many people are actually riding the buses, and do you think that you would need to do some kind of study to find out how many people are going to ride the bus before we invest in infrastructure to get people from Hope Mills to wherever?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I don't think she can tell you how many people are riding the bus. There's not a bus out there right now.
But I'm just saying, she's
absolutely
talking about expanding. Have you done anything?
Has there been any?
Has there been anything?
I know that they've been working with FAMPO.
Okay.
And I know that part of the they were very close in securing a short route, and I guess FAMPO decided to grant money no pun intended there,
Mm-hmm.
to the airport.
Okay.
So that fell apart, but it's still a need. It's definitely still a need. And even with your senior citizens too.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you rate it to be a success? I mean, how many people need to ride the bus for it to be a success, or to decide that it doesn't need to happen? Because if, and this is just from a taxpayer standpoint, not a anti-old person standpoint, or veteran, or a young person going to college,
anti-elderly,
or anti-whatever. I'm an old person, so whatever. I mean, if you're having 3 people ride these big, huge buses, or even a small bus a month or whatever, at what point do you say, you know what, I'm sorry, you 3 people, the expense outweighs the benefit of those 3 people, call an Uber or whatever?
Well, like you said, we do need to do a study. We do need to find the population who is going to use this. And we know of the population right now that we have veterans and the elderly that need transportation, mostly to doctor's appointments.
So you would need to have a measurable goal that if these X amount of people don't at least use this service, then we're going to scale it back, regardless of how much. If you have to have 85 people, if 84, then it's out. Or do you say, well, we're close? Or how many times it's going to run a day, or how many routes it's going to have, or yes, because so many times as a taxpayer, they start these programs up and they sound like pie in the sky. Yay, we're going to do this, and lo and behold, we don't get a return on investment. But they keep doing it because of this one person is like, yes, I want this, I want this. But hey, I don't really. It's not my problem.
Right. We have to do evidence-based research. We have to look at other municipalities who are comparative to us, and who have a similar, nobody's going to have the same exact population and demographics as we are, but similar at least. And we have to do the research first. We have to do the footwork, and we have to do a pilot program. We just can't say, okay, we just bought this 75-person capacity bus and we just dropped $700,000 on this bus. Let's roll. We have to.
Maybe we could hire like a small van to start.
So you don't want to be like Field of Dreams. You don't want to build it so they'll come. Okay, you want to actually have some idea.
No,
there is one more controversy in Hope Mills that we've forgotten about, and it's not directly tied to her personally, but the town had a stir over an ordinance that led to the staff removal of 70 plus political signs from private property, and then they stopped doing that after there were several complaints.
70 plus
political signs. They pulled them out.
When did this happen? Today?
According to CBS 17. I'm not really sure when. I've just run down through and find out stories in regarding to Hope Mills. So how would you? Let's see. It says the town infamously.
I do know last election cycle.
I think it was last.
Those guys were. I mean, you talk about I won't say Nazis, but they were very strict in Hope Mills.
Well, and they were ripping up signs, from what I understand. Yeah. So where do you stand on the town's power over political signage? And then where do you draw that line?
Well, funny you asked this, because I actually contacted Emily. I wish I can tell you how to say her last name, but she is with zoning, and she's the one who's sent us out the ordinances about political signs, because I have purchased a sign about this tall.
Sure.
And I wanted to know where I could put it. Can I put it in my own window? Can I put it on my front lawn? Can I put it in a storefront? Where can I put it? Because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
So evidently I can't put it anywhere.
You can't put it in your own personal property?
Well, how big is the sign? Is it 4 foot by 4 foot? Or?
It's 30 by 26.
You should be able to put...
It stands about this tall. I can't put it... I can't put it on the roadway. I cannot put it in a storefront.
That's not right.
I don't think that's right.
Well, or is that City of Fayetteville? So City of Fayetteville, you can put a 36 by 24 in the right of way.
Right.
It's the largest. The smallest are those little yard signs, and then 4 by 4 signs have to be on private property.
Private property, right. Yeah. Is that a city thing or a Board of Elections thing?
It's a town ordinance.
I think it's a town. It must be.
It's a town ordinance because...
so you can't even put it in your own private property or somebody's
I could put it in, if I like a storefront. Like if I wanted to put it, can I put it facing out in
Sure.
your window.
Mhm.
Can't do it. I could face it in for the customers to see, but I
all
can't
right.
face it out.
So, do you feel that's too restrictive or not? You just
Yeah,
spent
yeah.
your good hard-earned money on your
Yes.
campaign sign. Now you can't use it.
So there's something that you're going to
Yeah.
change if you get on city
Yeah.
council. Is that correct?
The other thing is we had a few years back, we even had somebody running for commission that got a billboard,
Mhm.
and they were like, what are you going to do about the billboard? Because it's how
up
many
there.
feet in the sky, and
Well, the billboards are already.
They're already
I mean,
there.
They're already there.
So you just
So
can't.
they
so it's
they
just
didn't like it that it was political advertising on it.
Mhm.
Well,
that's called free speech.
yeah, that doesn't. Yeah.
I don't
so-
care that you don't like it. Tough.
Okay. Well, Karen, if people want to learn more about you, besides coming on and watching us, how can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook. It's Karen Saracen for Hope Mills Commissioner. My email is ksaracen@yahoo.com.
Spell Saracen,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
I can spell it.
Thank you. Just because people are going to be like Saracen. Yeah,
know
get
how
and guess.
I know how to spell it. SARACEN.
Very good.
And my first name is Karen. Don't believe the hype.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to
She's
change.
really not so much of a Karen after I met her. I
gonna
have to admit. You know?
I'm changing the narrative. I'm working on changing
You got a
the
middle
narrative.
name, maybe?
Well, my
Make
maiden
life
name
easy.
is Smith. I go by Karen Smith Saracen.
Okay.
Because Karen Saracen kind of gets caught in your nose a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say Karen Smith Saracen 3 times real fast. That's one of those. Okay, so Facebook and email can find you there. Laura,
Yes.
thank you for being here with me this afternoon.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you. And Karen, of course, thank you for joining me this afternoon. And for all of you watching,
Thanks
see
for
you
joining
next
in
time.
and look
Yes.
at, yeah,
Thank
and
you.
the questions from the viewers.
Thank
That was
you.
nice.
see y'all.